All right. Yeah, you got to take all that out, girl. You taking all this?
It's gonna go viral.
That's gonna be on Facebook.
It's gonna be on World Class.
Oh wow!
And ain't you glad you stayed in this class? You could have been up there talking about. Well, and singing amazing. Okay, all right, let's get it.
I'm still not doing it.
Okay, chapter 19. Proverbs 19. Proverbs 19.
Are you live?
Am I what?
Are you live right now?
Am I live? No, you taping it.
Oh, okay. Okay.
No. Somebody, ain't nobody got me on their Facebook.
I know.
I watch it every time. I watch all of these, so I'll know if you've edited it.
Proverbs 19. Proverbs 19. Okay? All right. Here we go. That was a good start. Proverbs 19. Okay, so again, we start out, I know we just started. Proverbs 19. Here's what it says. Better, and this goes along, actually I started out that way because of verse 1. And then we just got, really stretched out on it. Okay. Better is the poor that walketh in his integrity than he that is perverse in lips and is a fool. Right? So what that's saying is what? Listen, don't stretch the truth to make a dollar. Don't stretch the truth to make a dollar. All right? Because anyway, just don't do it. Just don't do it. Maintain your integrity. All right? All right. Now, 2 and 3 go together, and a lot of these verses go together, all right? So we're going to group the ones that do group together, and we go single for the ones that are single. Verses 2 and 3, they are both tied in together. Also, that the soul be without knowledge, it is not good. And he that hath hasted with his feet sinneth. The foolishness of man perverteth his way, and his heart fretteth against the Lord. Okay? Now, look what it says there, right? That the soul be without knowledge, it is not good. Right? And he that hasteth with his feet sinneth. So they're saying what? If you don't know before you go, you are a fool. Right? Okay? And 3 says the same thing. Right? The foolishness of man perverteth his way. When you don't know and you act based on your own stupidity, it causes you to go out and walk in the wrong direction. Okay? But it also causes you to veer away from where God is pleased with you. Okay? And if you think about it, if you think about when people do stupid stuff, generally speaking, it's because they act before they get all the information that they need to make a sound decision. Okay? So you never want to act on tertiary information. Right? What is tertiary information? Third hand. Right? And most folk act on third hand information. Okay? Because most of the stuff you get is not from the source. It's from somebody who knows somebody that knows the source. Okay? And you never want to act on that because it makes you out to be foolish. Okay? Now 4, 6, 7, 17, and 22 go together. All right? 4, 6, 7, 17, and 22, those verses go together. So we're going to look at those together, okay? Because all of them deal with the same thing that someone said that this young lady was guilty of. I don't believe it, though, when it concerns Matt Lauer. All right? Wealth maketh many friends, but the poor is separated from his neighbor. That's verse 4. Verse 6 says, many will entreat the favor of the prince, and every man is a friend to him that giveth gifts. 7 says, all the brethren of the poor do hate him. How much more do his friends go far from him? He pursueth them with words, yet they are wanting to him. Meaning what? He try to make them, but they keep going away. Right? 17 says, he that hath pity upon the poor lendeth to the Lord, and that which he hath given he will pay him again. 22 says, the desire of a man is his kindness, and the poor man is better than a liar. Okay, now, all these verses tend to say the same thing, and that is, we tend, I'm just saying generalities, right? We tend to admire the rich and look down on the poor. Right? You know, someone said that she was starstruck. I don't believe it. But, you know, we tend to admire those that have money, even if they are treacherous. And we tend to look down on the poor, even when usually, generally speaking, the reason why they are poor is because they have integrity. They don't steal. They don't cheat. They don't do all those things. So oftentimes, people who are poor have all the characteristics that we hold dear, but yet we look down on them for doing that. You know, like for example, we'll look down on someone who has a what we would call a menial job, but it's an honest job. You know, and we'll look favorable on somebody who is filthy rich, and they got it in ways that are horrible. Right? Well, right. Or like the railroad barons, for example. Stuff like that. And so what this is saying is we need to change. We need to change our orientation as to how we value people. Right? Again, for example, think about who we value the most in society. The teacher or the one that they taught? The one that they taught.
Why?
You say, why? Because the one they taught makes more than the teacher.
But I admire the teacher.
Okay, I hear you, but you don't believe half stuff you say. So, I'm just saying, the reality is that most of us look highly upon, look more highly upon, let's say, on people who have established themselves, and are making good money, and nobody bows down to the teacher.
Nope.
No, nobody. Let the teacher say, you know what? I'm gonna be at Old Dominion. What's the TED? They got a new name for TED now. What do they call it now? Charter House, something like that.
Oh, they do?
Yeah, they changed the name. Yeah. So let Valerie say, I'm gonna be at the TED, this Saturday, and watch how many of y'all show up. Okay. Now let Bill Gates say, I'm gonna be at the TED this Saturday, and watch how many people show up. He don't give them a dime, but they're gonna be there. Okay. And I'm not saying she's poor now, because she ain't. But I'm just saying, in relation to him, the deal. My point is that's how we are. And so the Bible says that is a crazy way of looking at things. What we ought to value about people, we don't. We ought to value their integrity and the fact that they are honest, and the fact that they, that rather than just valuing their so-called status in life. Okay, that makes sense to you? Okay, all right. You gonna practice it? You sure? Sure. Then why y'all believe that woman then? No, that's right. That's this side over here, right?
Yeah.
But y'all got one non-believer over here too. Make her get up and come over here.
That's in the bag.
Yes, we go. We know what you decide.
Oh, you just listen to her. What? That's in here too, right? That's in here too about not listening to your friends, and that's in here too. Right, yeah. That's in here. Okay. Verse 8 says this: He that getteth wisdom loveth his own soul. he that keepeth understanding shall find good. You know, that's self-explanatory, right? It's self-explanatory. Even though it's self-explanatory, it's not followed, right? It would suggest that a lot of people don't like themselves. Right? Because it says, he that loveth his soul getteth wisdom. So that would mean that if I'm not one that is prone to trying to get wisdom, I must not love me. You know? And if you think about this for a second. Think about this for a second. Now, how many of us, you don't have to raise your hand, I'm just doing it. How many of us truly believe that the more I know the Bible, the more wise I am? Follow me? But think about how many people refuse to come to a place where you can get to know the Bible more.
Right. So they say they don't need it, they can read by themselves.
Well, I'm not just talking about them folks, I'm talking about even the folk that come to church on Sunday every once in a while.
Okay.
Not only that, think about how many people that come to church that don't read their Bible. Just because you come to church don't mean you read the Bible. A lot of people come to church and they listen to what the preacher says, but they don't read the Bible. They don't study the Bible. And wisdom comes from studying the Bible. For example, what do we say if you were on Jeopardy? If you were on Jeopardy and what came up was, is the best teacher?
What is my mom's experience?
No, what is it? Experience. Because that's the phrase, right? Experience is the best teacher, right? If experience is the best teacher, what is the next best teacher? No, you get wisdom because you are taught. Think about it logically. If experience is the best teacher, what is the next best teacher?
Theory.
Huh?
Theory.
Say it again. Reading what?
The Bible.
Why? But why?
Reading of the experience.
Right, reading others' experiences. If experience is the best teacher, right? Do you want to fall off the building to know it'll kill you? No, but if you fall off, you got that experience, right? But if you read about somebody else who fell off the building and died, and you will say, what? I'm not going to fall off the building. Right? So if experience is the best teacher, reading about other experiences is the second best teacher. Well, what is the Bible filled with? Others' experiences. So the more you read the Bible, the more you learn of other people's experiences, the more wiser you ought to become. But people don't read it, so they don't become wise. And so, according to Proverbs, it's an indication that they must not love themselves the way they say they do. Because when you really love yourself, you really want the best for yourself.
That's true.
Right?
Yeah.
So that stretches in all areas in your life.
Absolutely. Right? Because if you love yourself, you want to know more about yourself, but you also want to know more about how you can be better and how you can overcome situations. Now, think about this. Just think about this. Approximately, I know we don't, none of us know the exact answer, okay? That's what I'm saying, approximately. Approximately how many years do you think the Bible covers?
5,000.
At minimum, but it's more than that. But yeah, okay, it's huge, right? So of all the years it covers, is there anything that you can go through that is not already in the Bible?
No.
There's nothing that you can go through or will go through that's not already in there. So if I really want to be wise and if experience is the best teacher, why don't I read about all those other people's experiences? Now I will know how to handle it when it happens to me.
That's right. Correct.
I will know the best way to handle it. Because somebody in the Bible has already experienced it. Right? And so that's what Solomon is talking about here. But most people don't want to read the Bible and we got all kinds of excuses why we don't want to read it. The words are too long. You know, the words are too long. Some people say the words are too long.
Let it read it to yourself. You can.
No, but that's what they say though. The words ain't too long. It's just that you don't want to read the words, or too many names in it. I don't get on.
You know what, Pastor? You know what I do?
Don't
When I don't understand something, you know, I do the audio to understand how to pronounce something.
Well, let me put it this way.
Some things I can't pronounce. So
It is true. It is true that for some people, the King James Version is a little difficult to understand. I said for some people. But let me tell you, Ebonics is a little difficult to understand. But that don't stop us from learning it.
The new way of texting.
Right, the new way of texting. Emojis is difficult to understand. But you know what? Hey, but that don't mean you don't what? Learn it. But you know how you learn it? By listening to it.
Yeah, you gotta listen to it.
You listen to it. That's how you learn. You learned because Ebonics of 2019 is not Ebonics of 1976.
Sure not.
The way I grew up in the 70s talking is not the way people talk now.
Correct.
It's a different ball game.
Yes, it is.
You know? Like, cause see, okay, what does dope mean now? Somebody say, that's dope.
Cool. That's cool.
See, back in 76, you know what dope meant? Like, but you learn. So my point is, the more you read the Bible, the easier it is to understand Old English.
Yes.
It's just like learning Ebonics. You just keep looking at it, and after all, you know what it means. Well, you know, whatever. Okay. Anyway, but you ain't got you don't have to know Old English when you read what happened to people in the Bible. It is clear. When it says Daniel was placed in the lion's den, you don't need to know or New English or Old English. He went in the lion's den. If you're in the lion's den, what's going to be in there with him? Lions. Okay? All right. Did I do 5 and 9?
No.
Okay, I don't know why I skip 5 and 9, because if you need 5 and 9, you need that. Okay? You need that. Some need it more than others. But you need that. 5 says, a false witness shall not be unpunished, and he that speaketh lies shall not escape. And 9 says the same thing. A false witness shall not be unpunished, and he that speaketh lies shall perish. Now, let me tell you something so folks understand something about God. It appears that lying is something that God takes no pleasure in. He said, six things doth the Lord hate, yea, they are 7. And the thing that he said he hated the most was lying lips. Right? Right. And now here, the same thing Solomon lays out, he doubles up on it in almost the very same words. Now, here's why I believe, I'm saying why I believe, because I'm not in Solomon's head, all right? So I don't know why he picked it up the way he picked it up. But here's why I believe he put it out here this way. If you note in 5, it says, a false witness shall not be unpunished, and he that lieth shall not escape. Right? Right? And 9 says, a false witness shall not be unpunished, and he that lies shall perish. So the only distinguishing difference is, in one it says what? He shall not escape, and one says he shall perish. So I believe what Solomon is trying to do is help those that lie understand a concept, and those that are lied to understand a concept. Right? Right. So for those that are lied to, we often get all upset that you lied to me. And I think what Solomon is saying to you, don't worry about it.
It's gonna be all right.
It's going to come out. The truth is going to come out. That you can't keep that lie alive forever. It might take a while. But it's going to come out, so don't get all upset about it. Lose yourself in the word about when that lie. It's going to come out. I think the other one is to help lies understand something. You need to stop lying. Because if you don't stop, it's going to be to your demise. That you're going to lose credibility that sometimes you will not be able to recover from.
That's right.
You know? So I think that's why Solomon put it in that manner. All right? And when you think about it, it kind of makes sense that why would he put the same phrase in but then change the ending? You know? And he was a wise guy. So I would suggest to all of us that we take heed to that, because there is one, number one, if God says I hate that one more than anything, pretty much, that's basically what he's saying, I hate that more than anything, right? If God says he hates lying lips, if God says that no liar will enter into heaven, which indicates how much he hates a liar, right? That is the one sin that is so easy to overcome. Let me tell you something. Of all the sins that you can do, lying is the easiest one to overcome. And let me tell you why. Because lying is the only one that's only done by your intellect. It's the only one. Think about it. Right? If you think about, of the things that they talk about, whoremongering, why do people... Don't you answer this question, lady. They talking to the rest of the people out here.
So if you lie, you're not going to heaven. If you
No. I didn't say that. I know you're going to leave church right now, won't you? Okay. If we go back and look at the totality of the Bible, our sins are covered, right? So your ability to get to heaven, your sins are covered, okay? Sins are covered, right? Now, but my point is this: if you think of the things that, if you think of sins not based on New Testament, but think of sin based on Old Testament, okay? Because it's a whole different way of viewing it from the New Testament to the Old Testament. Think about the Old Testament, sin is based on action. New Testament, sin is based on belief. Right?
Belief.
New Testament is based on your non-belief rather than what you do. Okay? Right? Everybody understand? Does everybody understand why I'm saying that, first of all?
Yeah.
Okay, good. All right. So we're to the Old Testament, right? And look at what sins they're talking about, right? Of the sins, right? Okay, now, for example, thou shalt not steal. That's easy not to steal. I mean, that means let me say it differently. Thou shalt not steal. It's easy not to steal, but why do some people steal?
Because they need a loaf.
It's not a need.
Right. See, some people steal because what? I need.
Some people it's a habit.
I'm hungry.
Yeah, they're not hungry.
If you're a kleptomaniac, it is what? It's something that you need some help with.
Yeah, it's a habit.
But you might steal because you're hungry. You may steal. A kid may steal because what? All the other folk got Jordans and I don't.
That's right.
You're right, and I don't want to not. I mean, I'm not saying you can't walk around with that, but you know what I'm saying. That's a little, If you think about, you think about adultery, for example, right? I know what you're gonna say, Leah. So don't. I got it. But if you think about really and truly, any sin that's perverse based on sexual thing is based on a urge. So you don't have an urge to lie. But within you is an urge to be with somebody sexually. Yeah, right. Because that's an urge. Hey, how many of y'all ever watched Greenleaf? Did y'all see Greenleaf last night? Remember what happened to homeboy's wife last night? Huh? Don't tell y'all. Y'all didn't see it. Oh, I ain't seen it, y'all did. But you saw it, right? So y'all saw what the young preacher wife did, right? Y'all didn't see it. I can't tell you because they said don't tell you.
Oh, you gotta tell me.
Huh?
You gotta tell me.
You can tell it because I already know what it happened.
Okay, in Greenleaf, the young, what's his name? The young Greenleaf, Jacob's wife. Jacob's wife was trying to convince Jacob to go to dinner with her. Go to dinner with me and celebrate because she had the money to buy this new house. Well, he refused to go. So the guy that gave her the money said, girl, let me tell you something. He ain't treating you the way I would treat you. If it was me, girl, I'd be all over you right now. At first she said no. But then when Jacob said he would want to dinner, does that offer still stand? Because the urge for people to feel wanted is in all of us to feel wanted.
Yeah.
So I'm saying that's something that drives you based on a primal instinct. But lying ain't primal. Lying is just a decision you make. And most lies are so stupid it don't even make sense no way. Like, why are you lying about something? Why? Right, it's just because. It's just because. You just make something up. Yeah, you know, back in 1972, yeah, I'm gonna tell you something. Back then, oh, I was the bomb back then. No, why you lying?
They lie to make themselves.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying, but see, there's no primal urge. That's the easiest one to overcome. But yet, it's and I think that's the one. That's why God looks upon it so harshly, because there's nothing that He put in you that will make you want to do it. But He put in you the urge to be with somebody, right? So therefore, you gonna fornicate. You don't have to fornicate, but if you ain't got a strong conviction, you gonna fornicate, right? You got to be strong. You gotta fast and pray, right? Of course, because you what? You grown and you thinking what? The Lord don't forgive.
Boy, that's some strong.
But it's that's why it's called what? Grown folk play. We're not trying to play with you, right? I'm just saying. Now, I'm not. Hey. I'm not advocating it. I'm telling you right now. You should not strike it off the list. Fight it with everything you got in your body. That's what Paul said. Beat it and beat yourself into submission, right? But you got to beat yourself into submission, else you're gonna mess around and fall. But you ain't gonna do that for a lie. All you do is just what? Close your mouth and not talk. That's all you got to do is shut up.
I think this is going to be one of the best YouTube chapters you have ever done.
I forgot. You taking that too?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Forgive me for that.
And they'll pay $10 for Miracle Water. They'll pay $10 for this. Let it roll.
Every morning. All right. So then what? There is a reward for lies. And that reward for lying is you will fall and you will not go without recompense. All right? So my point to you is simple. Stop lying. I mean, don't do none of that stuff, but stop lying. All right? Stop lying. That's the one that goes from Old Testament, New Testament, and just keep on going. All right? Okay, so that's 5 and 9. That's why I had to stay there for a little while. All right. Okay. Now let's go to 10. All right? Because I like 10 too. Okay? Delight is not seemly for a fool, much less for a servant to have rule over princes. All right? Now, when they say delight is not seemly for a fool, what he means is an easy way of life. You know, an easy way of life is not something that a fool will have. A fool will not have an easy life no more than a servant will tell a prince what to do. Okay? Now, I know somebody was, well, because the hit on that is this. Now I got to be asking myself, wait a minute, is that why I ain't got an easy life? Is it because I'm a fool that I don't have an easy life?
I know some people like that, man.
No, that's not what it means. The reverse is not necessarily true. But what it's saying is a fool's life will never be easy. Because a fool won't use common sense. And this is the kicker. This is the thing. Understand this. A fool can have money and still not have an easy life.
Right.
See, our thought sometimes is, you know what? That, you know, this person is not a fool because they have wealth. Here's why we know a fool can have money and still have a hard life. Michael Jackson. There's nothing about Michael Jackson's life that, you know, that based on his own testimony, that was easy. You know, it wasn't. And in fact, it was because his life was filled with non-delights that he's dead.
Yep.
You know, you got to be mighty miserable. They have to hire a doctor to put you to sleep. Think about it. You got to hire a doctor full time so you can go to sleep at night. That must mean what? Your life is miserable. I ain't got that kind of money.
I know that's right.
But generally speaking, if you close your eyes and lay there long enough, you're going to sleep. Or you can do something to tire yourself out and go to sleep. Right? Huh? Or read Bible. Don't say that out loud no more. Read the Bible and she'll go right to sleep. Don't tell nobody else that now. Keep that to yourself. Keep that to yourself. All right? Keep that to yourself. Okay. 11 says the discretion of a man deferred his anger. I like this one right here. The discretion of a man deferred his anger, and it is his glory to pass over a transgression. I like this one right here. I practice this one right here, ladies. I practice it. You have to do this if you're going to endear people to you, right? So what does it mean? Two things. Number one is this, is that wise people don't let people make them angry quickly. They're slow to anger. They're very slow to anger. It takes a while for them to really explode on you. And if they do explode on you, it's always calculated. So you might think their explosion is based on anger, but it's not. It's really based on a calculation to do something because they know that I need to do this, so you will do this. Okay? And the second part of what he's saying is this: a wise person knows that more you will feel more loyal to me if I overlook your fault than if I remind you of your fault. A wise person knows this: if I want you to be loyal to me, I have to overlook your fault rather than remind you of the fault. Let's say, for the sake of argument, that this is just argument, for the sake of argument. I'm only saying this because what? I know you can handle this, all right? All right, Candy? And let's say, for the sake of argument, that I see Mike, and he's out with another woman. And I see him in the lip lock with the other woman, right? And his hands are in the wrong place on the other woman. And he look at me and he see him. But if I just don't say nothing, I got him for life. He gonna be loyal. He gonna be like, you know what? He gonna be like, that's my pastor right there.
That's because Mike was her boss.
What?
Yeah, she back on Matt Lauer again. Let it go. 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 See, you know what? See, you know what? Let me tell you something. I'm gonna help you out with this right here.
You always
If that girl had used this verse and had not have said nothing about Matt Lowry, he might be still dating her.
That's right.
She would have still been getting paid, and he might would have still been tipping over there once in a while, and she'd have been happy. But now he won't even look at her no more, and that's why she mad.
Have you seen a picture of her?
Yeah. That's all. I tell you, I saw it. She was there. She was in, I'm gonna say this one time I had to go now. I can't steal Matt Lauer now. I'm on chapter 13. I'm in Proverbs. Okay. But yes, I saw a picture of him. Okay. And so what's somebody say? She ugly?
No, I didn't say that. She's making it like you to see what she looked like. I said to myself, which came out of my mouth. Yeah, it's not always about the looks. There's a lot of ugly people that work together.
Everybody keep
Okay, hold on. This is not normally how this class is. Y'all scan the new person in here now. You gotta scan. Come back. Come on back. We'll have some sense next week. Come on back. No, I get you. But I get you. Yeah, right. I understand. I understand. My wife's still with me. I understand. Okay? She didn't go. She ain't with me for my looks. For my money.
That one is the funniest.
I didn't say it took a lot of money. I just said. All right. Okay. Verse 11. What happened to 11? Oh, that's 11. Okay, 12. 12. Okay, right. You're right. 12. The king's wrath is as the roaring of a lion, but his favor is dew upon the grass. Now, this for all the crazy folk that think they should not treat their bosses nice. That's really all they're saying. Listen, stop acting stupid. The person you don't want to make upset is someone that's over you in the hierarchy.
I know that.
Okay? So stop thinking that you can make them mad and it's going to be all right, and then you worry about how the person under you feel. You're making them feel like a king, and you're making your boss feel like nothing, and you think that's going to help you out. Stop worrying about what your peers think and worry about what your boss thinks. Okay? Because that's who you want to favor you. The one that's over you, not the one that's equal to you. They can't do a thing for you except tell you, you right. You right. But saying you right does not pay one Dominion power bill. Okay, am I right about that one? Okay, all right. Let's see, that's 12. I'm going to hold up right there because the next one, 13 and 14 and 26 kind of go together. And it's going to take us 13, 14, and 26. And it's going to take us more than 2 minutes to get that done. All right? And I do apologize for us getting off more than I thought I was going to get off. But I was just using Matt Lauer as an intro because of verse 1. Okay? We got further. Good dialogue. All right. I got time. I'm gonna pause right there. But if I have any questions about anything we've covered tonight, I'll take one question. None? Well, if there are no questions,
They're not allowed anyway.
Not allowed. Okay. No questions. Then thank you all so much, and you all get a minute early tonight. So enjoy yourself and be safe, and we'll see you Sunday.